Shark Anchor. This sword is one of the most no-skill and overpowered swords in the game. To get it, you need to be in the 3rd sea and grind 30 Fool's Gold, 20 Shark Teeth, 8 Electric Wings, 3 Mutant Teeth, and 3 Terror Eyes. After collecting these, craft the Tooth Necklace and Terror Jaw, which will let you get the Monster Magnet. Then head into the sea and wait for an anchored Terror Shark to spawn. You can do this with a friend, but only the player who lands the final blow gets the sword. People love to spam its Z move because of its massive AoE. This sword is so easy to use that even a fetus can hit a combo. Its M1s are slower compared to other swords, but despite that, it's one of the best swords in the game and 100% worth it. Spikey Trident. Unlike Shark Anchor, this sword takes some skill to use. To get the Spikey Trident, you have to spawn either the Doe Prince or the Doe King. Once you kill the boss, there's a 10% chance of you getting the Spikey Trident. This sword is pretty hard to use, but it's really good for combos. The Z move doesn't break instinct, but the range makes up for it. Some might even say it's better than the Gravity Cane because of that range. It's not as easy to use as Shark Anchor, but with the Kitsune Fruit, you can still land combos fairly easily. Fox Lamp. Fox Lamp is one of the more unique and interesting swords in the game. The moves are really different and look amazing. It's not exactly easy to use, but it's not that hard either. To get this sword, you need to reach Danger level 6 during a full moon, which spawns the Kitsune Shrine. After that, you have to gather at least 15 Azure Ambers and donate them to the shrine, praying you get the legendary Fox Lamp sword. It has a 10% drop rate, but somehow it took me more than 15 tries to get it. Overall, even though this sword is unique and good on its own, a lot of people don't use it, mainly because there are just better options. Buddy Sword. This sword is not for the average Blox-Fruits player. If you don't have God Aim, you shouldn't be using this sword. Getting it is fairly easy. All you have to do is keep clapping keep clapping Cake Queen over and over until she finally drops it. This sword is so hard to use that you'll barely see anyone with it, mainly because the X move is almost impossible to hit. But it has crazy stun, so it's actually useful if you're trying to run from a Buddha spammer or fighting any other big bad. There's such massive targets you can just tap the X move and keep your distance. Dark Dagger. This is the same butter knife Mihawk used to bully Zoro at the Brody. To get this sword, you have to spawn Rip Indra and beat him up praying he drops the Dark Dagger. It only has a 2.5% drop rate, so unless your luck stat is maxed out, trying to get this thing might just send you to the mental hospital. Overall, the sword is pretty mid and definitely not worth the grind, but it's still cool to have in your inventory just to flex on your friends and prove you're the superior Blox-Fruits no-lifer. Tushita. This sword is a pretty underrated pick. To get it, you have to spawn Rip Indra, then go on a whole side quest lighting up torches around the floating turtle before beating up the Longma boss, which gives you the legendary Tushita sword. Most people only grab it to get CDK, but honestly, it's still a solid sword on its own, even if it's a bit outdated. Yama. This sword has the same story as Tushita. People only grind for it just to get CDK, completely ignoring the fact that it's actually a pretty decent sword on its own. To get it, you need to kill 30 elite pirates, beat up some underlings hiding under the waterfall at Hydra Island, and pull out the legendary Yama sword. Koko. This legendary sword can be obtained in the 2nd sea. You just have to keep hosting law raids until you get it. This sword has a 5% chance of dropping. It really depends on your luck, but it took me more than 30 law raids to get it, so I'm kind of biased against it and think it's not worth the effort. Midnight Blade. This is one of the most underrated swords in Blox-Fruits. It can be obtained in the 2nd sea with just 100 ectoplasm. You can get them extremely fast by beating up the NPCs at the cursed ship. Not only this looks really cool, almost like the portal fruit, this sword is extremely easy and fun to use. Despite all that, nobody touches this sword because the next sword on the list is just better. Rengoku. We all know where this sword came from. This sword is one of the best swords you can get on the 2nd sea. In order to get this legendary sword, you have to beat up Aokiji until he coughs up the hidden library key, then open the chest and get this sword for absolutely free. And of course, like everything else in Blox-Fruits, it all depends on your luck, because while it took my friend only 3 tries to get it, I had to kill the boss over 53 times. But it was still worth it, since it was so easy to use and did so much damage. Shizu, Oroshi, and Saishi. The only reason I got these 3 swords was for the TTK, and I've never once used them. So honestly, no idea what to say about them. Just drop whatever you think about these swords down in the comments. Saber. You can get this sword in the 1st sea, and you only need to be level 200. All you gotta do is complete a quest and beat up Shanks, or whatever this guy is. And of course, there's Saber V2, which you can use for one of the fastest combos in Blox-Fruits. Dragonheart. This sword is just as, if not more, no skill and stupidly overpowered like the Shark Anchor. Massive AoE and insane damage. This sword has it all. In fact, this might be better than the Shark Anchor, since it's hard to land shots with the Shark Anchor when you are fighting in the air. But with this sword, you literally can't miss. And getting this sword is so easy. All you have to do is get the black belt, get a volcanic magnet, get all of these in 2 dragon eggs, which means going to the prehistoric island 2 times. This video took a lot of time to make, so I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. The next one's my best yet. You won't want to miss it.